Alright. We are streaming, we are live. Oh, I need to mute myself on everything. Okay. Okay. If you hear an echo, it's because I'm setting everything up and I'm a bit stupid. But yeah, as you can see, today we are playing Touchstarved, which is a horror visual novel, apparently. I've never played it before. I don't know anything about the game. In fact, I am completely in the dark. So there we go. We are set up properly. Can finally show up. Hi! We've used a horror overlay before, but we've never done it with the follower goal changed. I decided to go play around and see if I could get it to match a bit more, because last time it was really light compared to the rest of everything. So now it's black and red. I think it looks better. I think it blends in more. Now, I am not sure on the content warnings for this game. I will say it might be a bit suggestive. I have put on the stream that there might be some suggestive qualities. If anyone is able to put in chat if the music is too loud, that would be great. I can never tell, because I've got quite sensitive ears. And I've had to turn this down for myself. Oh yeah, I just realised I have the stream in my hand, I can just check myself. I'm independent. Okay, testing. It seems fine, I think you can hear me. Hi Star! Welcome to the stream. We are playing, Hot Dangerous Men Simulator. I'm honestly gonna say, first impressions, I love all of them. But especially over here. Yeah, my chat from last stream always shows for some reason. I can't be bothered to sort that out. It could just do that if it wants. Yeah, guy on the left, guy in the middle, guy on the right, and the guys that, you know, I like all the guys from first glance. It's weird, is it? I don't know if it was meant to do that or not. Oh, whale. I'm sure it's nothing. So, for anyone that doesn't know, the schedule today is we're going to play this for about 2 hours. And then I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to go eat. And then we're going to get back and play with Atlas, who is debuting today, is also Star's girlfriend. And we're playing 99 Nights in the Forest, which is going to be really fun. Second guy on the right can get it anytime. You are so right. I love the combination of dark skin with like gold features. It always looks good. I have never seen it look bad, ever. It just always fits. I'm not sure if capable. Wife? Sorry, yes. Star's wife, not Star's girlfriend, Star's wife. We should get into the game. Okay. So I haven't started a game, so we'll have to press new game. Streamers and content creators should set music volume to 0 in order to disable copyrighted music. This is a demo of the Touchstarved prologue and not the finished product, thank you. Oh, oops. Touchstarved is intended for an older audience. It contains mature content that includes, but is not limited to, horror, graphic violence, strong language, alcohol and drug references, injury, and dismemberment. Player discretion is advised. Touchstarved's bestie. So if you're watching and you're not comfortable with any of these in your Hot Men games, it might be a good time to stop watching. If you accept the content warning, please click to proceed. I do accept. Tutorial. In Touchstarved, your choices matter. The decisions you make may result in unique dialogue, interactions, or even choices in red text which contain exclusive content. Ooh. Try playing through the demo more than once and choosing different options. You might even uncover a secret ending. Remember, there are no wrong choices, only interesting ones. Choose wisely and save often. Controls. Left click is progress text and dialogue. Mouse wheel up is rewind text and dialogue. Mouse wheel down is progress text and dialogue. Spacebar is to hide the UI. You're just gonna be lurking? Okay. Choose my name. Faye. Choose your pronouns. Wait, hang on. Let me just... Options. Sound. Music volume to 0. And I can bring the master volume up because it was the music that was pretty loud. Now I won't get copyrighted. Let's go with they them pronouns. This world began to unravel long before you were born. It all started with fogfall. Spectral mist bled from the seams where reality wore so thin it split. And from that fog emerged monsters, inhuman beings with unnatural powers. And I'm assuming they were also hot men. Some possessed language and intellect, others were mindless beasts driven by little more than bloodshed. As unrest spread and cities fell, humans cowered in fear while monsters thrived amid the chaos. Then there's you. Then there's me. You don't know what you are, but one terrible truth is certain. You were born cursed, with hands that alter the minds of those you touch. Ooh. Choose your backstory. Oh, okay. The unnamed, a fallen oracle. You're raised as an oracle in a remote temple. The priest claimed your touch had bestowed enlightenment, but a visiting mage revealed your curse for what it is. Spurred on by the mage's word, you fled in search of the cenobium. You regularly experience unnatural premonitions that rattle your body and soul. An innate sixth sense gives you a heightened awareness of hidden supernatural presences. Okay. The exile is a solitary survivor. You were exiled to a life far from civilization. Your only kinship was with an elderly hermit who taught you how to survive in the wild. He lost his life in search of a cure for you, but left you with a final lead to pursue the cenobium. You're a seasoned survivalist, well-versed in deciphering soulless behaviors. You've gained fluency in various languages and an uncanny intuition for detecting danger. Then the alchemist, an exiled cenobium mage, took you in as a child, raising you as her apprentice. She seemed to take pity on your curse, but you discovered that she was cultivating you as a test subject. You fled to the cenobium, seeking a cure. You're an experienced spellcaster with an encyclopedic knowledge of alchemy, spellcraft, and history. With a little observation, you can identify the subtle effects of magic. Oh, I don't know which one to pick. I like all of these. That's really hard. I think I like the Fallen Oracle the most. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the full-on oracle. Your name is Faye. You selected they, them pronouns. Your backstory is the unnamed. Is this correct? Yes. The wasteland stretches as far as the eye can see. There's nothing out here but death, the ever-present stench of decay, and countless sun-bleached bones cast like seeds across the barren land. I could say death doesn't scare me, but honestly, I'm desperate. It's been 2 weeks since I joined a caravan bound across the wastes. Finding a group that would accept me was a trial in itself. I can hide my hands and deflect probing questions, but sooner or later people always suspect something strange about me. As rations grew sparse and canteens ran dry, tensions rose. Despair began to set in until I saw it. Is that the Cenobium? Aridia, the city of knowledge, one of the last bastions of humanity left in the world and home to the famous academy called the Cenobium. Okay. Interesting. All the world's knowledge gathered in one place. If there's anywhere I'll find a cure for my curse, it's there. All that stands between me and a new life is a final stretch of salt-soaked wastes. Or so I think, until I see the first tendrils of fog snaking beneath the wagon. Oh, the fog. That's bad, isn't it? Oh god. Is this fogful? That's bad, right? My stomach sinks to the very whisper of it. A silent storm more devastating than fire. Dangerous in cities, but a death sentence beyond them. A thick blanket of fog engulfs us, snuffing out the lantern's light. The wagon lurches to a stop. An eerie silence heavy as the mist falls over us. The only warning we get is a strangled scream. Stay back! No! The cry dissolves into wet gurgling. Ugh. Don't like the sound of oh! Oh god, that sound effect scared me. That made me jump. Okay. Then the wagon violently pitches to the side. I hit the ground hard, the air punched from my lungs. When I opened my eyes, adrenaline lends sudden, awful clarity to the carnage around me. A trader I once shared bread with lies face down in the mud, their back reduced to long strips of torn muscle. Gleaming gristle and exposed bone, bodies littered with wasteland. Ugh. I try to rise, but my ankle explodes with pain so blinding. White blooms cross my vision. Only when my eyes finally adjust do I see the dark shape before me. A soulless stoops over the twisted form of a caravaner. I freeze, but it swivels its head. A dozen bulging eyes twitch in my direction and blink as one. Ahoy, sailor. Is there a dating route for this one? Because I would take the route for this one. The soulless lets out an ear-splitting shriek and charges me. But right before it reaches me, the beast barrels past, vanishing into a mist. Into the mist. A horse screams in the distance. Not the horsey! I need to move now. Do I run for the city or head towards the wagon? Let's save here. I'll run for the city. I take off, running deeper into the haze. The fog is so thick that I fear I'm headed in the wrong direction until I see a dim pinprick of light emanating from the shadow of a spire. It's faint, but it's enough. I came too far to die here. Rapid footsteps echo all around me. I turn in circles, frantically searching the opaque mist for the source, but the fogfall twists and stretches sound. Suddenly, the caravan's driver bursts forth from the fog. Our eyes meet too late. He knocks me to the ground and slips in a patch of mud. The soulless instantly falls on him. It catches the driver by his throat and rakes his stomach with razor-sharp claws. Okay, I'm seeing what it means by the graphic depictions of violence now. He comes apart like wet paper, spilling intestines and viscera in a steaming tide. It's really beautiful writing. Fighting the urge to heave, I claw frantically through the slippery muck for a handhold. Shit. That's not good. My hand catches on the jagged edge of a rib jutting up from the water. Bandages unfurl around the gouge torn deep into my palm. But the pain's quickly forgotten when a hand closes around my wrist. Oh, he's pretty. Hello. Can you stand? Oh, can you stand? One of the travelers from the caravan leans over me. We need to run. They reach for my hand, and I realize too late that my bandages have come undone. Oh yeah, my bandages. Carp. No, don't touch me. Sensation of their thumb brushing the back of my hand sends a shiver down my spine. All it takes is one touch, and in the space of a breath my curse takes hold. Their lips peel back into a deranged grin. I'm not a voice actor, okay? No, I've seen this face countless times before. This is my curse, madness of my own making. Their grip on my hand tightens until pain radiates from my knuckles. Let me go. Suddenly, clammy hands crush my throat, choking off my breath. Die! Die, 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 die! Spit bubbles at the corners of their mouth and flecks my face. The edges of my vision darken as my lungs shriek for air. Let's punch him. Oh wait, I should have saved that. Oops. My nails gouge deep into the traveler's wrist, but no matter how much blood I draw, they don't flinch. Okay, I think that was the wrong decision. The more I struggle, the tighter their grip grows. My pulse hammers in my ears, slowing with each thudding beat. This can't be happening. I'm going to die. Not because of the fogfall of the soul dust, but because of my curse. Tears sting my eyes. No, 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 not here. Not like this. But then their hands drop from my neck, leaving me wheezing for air. My lungs burn with each ragged cough. Ragged cough, not radded. My vision clears, and the traveller's face takes shape, hovering inches from mine, lips still split in that macabre smile, even as blood seeps between their teeth. They give one last shuddering breath, then slump over, the claws hooked through their stomach. Solar shoves the body aside, its glowing eyes narrow as though grinning. As a flash of claws, red spills across my vision. I thought there'd be pain, but as I sink into the murky water, all I can feel is the grit of silt filling my mouth and the icy embrace of shallow water. I might have fucked up. I spot an arm resting among an outcrop of reeds, mine neatly severed at the elbow. I might have fucked up. It should have taken both arms. Without them, maybe I could have survived. Maybe I could have had a home. Instead, I'll die cold and alone in a desolate wasteland. Fitting end for a monstrosity like me. Oops. Oh? This is death. It's not as bad as I feared. The cold is gone, as is the choking stench of bog water. Hi, Rosie! I could drift forever, cocooned in oblivion, until all thought and sensation vanished. Going live soon, so gonna look. Okay. No curse, nobody howling at me in madness and terror, nothing at all. The thought has a terrible appeal to it. But I take a reflexive breath and air falls into my lungs, then out again in a ragged gasp. Pookie, hi! All my Pookies are here. Ugh. Feeling comes flooding back. Warm cloth on my bare skin, a firm surface underneath me, a strange tang of sulphur in the air. Do not be afraid. Who are you? It's the hot man! Oh! Star, it's your hot man. I twist my head towards the voice. We'll be able to stay on because your phone may freak from 2 streams, but I love you so much. I'll try to talk soon. And oh my god, he's hot. He is. At least stay until his face comes into focus, okay? Please censor for TOS. I twist my head towards the voice. Tears flood my bleary eyes at the bright glow of lamplight. Try not to move. The voice is calm, steady, and commanding, but more importantly, it's a stranger's voice. One thought cuts through my mental fog. I have no idea who this is, and I'm completely at their mercy. Hubba hubba. Stay away from me! My words come out in little more than a creaky whisper. I clap my mouth shut, hating how weak and helpless I sound. Okay, I love you too. No. No? Who the hell is this? I'm gonna sit up. I manage to push myself up on one elbow, but my head swims and my surroundings give an alarming lurch. Stubborn patient. He's a doctor! Oh, this just gets better. I don't have the strength to dignify that with a response. Instead, I pull the sheet up higher and wipe my eyes until my vision clears. Hello, sailor. Meow. The stranger towers over my prone form. Warm light limns his pristine medical coat. I can't even speak. Oh my gosh. He's got a collar with nothing attached to it. That's so... He's so baby girl. I instinctively shrink back, and that's when I realize that I'm completely naked except for a thin linen sheet. Ooh. Naked, lying on a low cot with a pair of sharp golden eyes watching my every move. The man's gaze flickers to my exposed, unbandaged hands. I plunge my hands under the sheet, though it's too late. He must have noticed what they look like. He's been staring at me unconscious for probably a while. I'm pretty sure he already knows what they look like. Strange, cursed, inhuman. I brace myself for his inevitable disgust, but his courteous smile lingers. Ooh. He just watches in placid silence as I struggle to make sense of my surroundings. Where am I? Who are you? Be calm. You are safe here. Whoever this is, he clearly has no idea who or what I am. I've never been safe anywhere with anyone. Even the shrine of my childhood turned out to be not a terrific lie, it was a horrific lie. It really did not seem terrific. I scowl, pulling the sheet protectively around myself. Where are my clothes? The man's golden eyes narrow slightly. A sharp sigh rustles the papers in his hands. I see you are not to be dissuaded. Your clothes were torn to shreds when I found you, but I procured replacements. With a soft creak, he rises from his chair, giving me a better view of my surroundings. This looks like a medical clinic. Bottles of silvery alchemical concoctions line the counters in neat rows. This is really testing how well I can speak. The air makes my nose twitch, a faint whiff of smoke and something distinctly metallic. Oh! Sorry, just... I love this man. Whatever happens in the rest of the game, I love this man. He can be evil as much as he wants, and I love him. It doesn't matter. The doctor produces a large, dense bundle of cloth, which he sets at the foot of my cot. He's easily a head taller than most, and I have to crane my neck to look at him. I'll thank him. He deserves that. Thank you. Should be polite if I can, especially since I don't know who this is, what he can do, or what he wants with me. Meeting his gaze sends a hot frisson down my spine. Something about him nags at me like a half-formed memory I can't place. Thank you. His hair! Oh my god. Look at him. He's so majestic. I almost feel intimidated. Holy moly. Holy moly. But the mackerel. Oh my god. Okay, I need to continue. You are very welcome. I will leave you to get dressed. With a curt nod, he leads through a narrow door. I hear a soft click as the lock turns behind him. When I don't hear any more footsteps, I reach for the bundle of clothes. An itch on my elbow stops me short. I reach down absently to rub at it, then freeze when my fingers meet a neat line of stitches. I know what I saw. That beast took my arm clean off. And yet the limb shows no sign of injury apart from the black stitches poking through my skin. I gingerly flex my fingers, feeling my heart race at the sensation. This is impossible. I should be dead, or at the very least gasping out my last breaths. I squeeze my eyes shut, waiting for the pleasant dream to unravel, to wake up and find myself bleeding out in the swamp. But nothing happens. Seconds tick by and my arm remains resolutely Let's just try that again. Seconds tick by and my arm remains resolutely healed, my surroundings pristine and quiet. In numb disbelief, I grab the replacement clothes and begin stiffly pulling them on. They're thicker and warmer than mine were, bundled with a black woolen cloak. But there's one thing still missing, my bandages. The doctor didn't leave me with any, though I know he saw my hands. I slide off the bed and take a few unsteady steps towards one of the drawers. If this is indeed a doctor's clinic, there must be bandages somewhere. I start opening drawers at random, and of course that's when the door swings open. Oh god. My voice today, not even my voice, it's my word comprehension. I can read it, but it's just not coming out the way I want it to. Are you looking for something? I whirl around, clutching a thick roll of clean bandages. Try to step back from him, but my legs bump up against the cot. Your caution is understandable, though if I meant you any harm, you would know. That doesn't make me feel better in the slightest, but he makes no move towards me, so I quickly wind the bandages around my hands. The glowing scars and mottled skin disappear under a layer of clean white cotton. May I ask why you need additional bandages? I can help if you tell me what ails you. I doubt it. Travelling to Iridia was a gamble born of desperation rather than hope. Nothing has come close to curing my curse. And yet my left arm twitches, the arm that was severed before my very eyes. The doctor's unblinking gaze follows my every move. It's clear he won't drop this without some sort of answer. The bandages protect me, and they warn others to stay away. I've tried every way of covering my hands, and this works best. Most people avoid touching me as soon as they see the bandages. An illness, then? Or a less mundane affliction spread by contact? I flinch. He doesn't even sound surprised, and that's far too close to the truth for comfort. I'll be a brat and glare at him. I fix him with the coldest glare I can muster, yet he serenely holds my gaze. I am not easily intimidated. I hastily break eye contact, but he says nothing more. At least he doesn't seem angry. I shake my head. I need to know more about this doctor before he figures me out. Who are you? You may call me Kuras. Where exactly am I? Iridia, which I assume was your caravan's destination. I can think of nowhere else for a group of travellers to go. Iridia, so I made it to the City of Knowledge after all. I should feel relieved, but all I can manage is a vague sense of increasing unease. How did I end up here? I brought you to my clinic, of course. You're the only survivor from the caravan barely clinging to life. You needed immediate treatment. Which you've provided? Yes. He says it so simply, as if I'm a small child and he's explaining basic addition to me. That's how I'm feeling right now, so yeah. I frown and flex the fingers on my recently healed arm. Aside from being a bit stiff, it feels fine, thoroughly attached to me. You're saying that you stitched my arm back on? Pardon? A Solus attacked the caravan. It ripped everyone to shreds. It tore my arm clean off. When I woke up here, trail off bewildered, I've never heard of any magic that could heal a mortal wound. The doctor, Kuras, pinches the bridge of his nose. He sits back down in his chair, quiet for a long time. I do not know where you come from, but Iridia is the city of knowledge and deadly secrets alike. Information is power. One should not give or receive it freely. Since you refuse to divulge your secrets, I will not divulge mine. I do not even know your name. You are new to Iridia, so I will overlook. I give up on my voice. You are new to Iridia, so I will overlook this specific breach of etiquette. Do not expect others to extend the same courtesy. Do you understand? He glances at my freshly bandaged hands. Loath though I am to admit it, he has a point. I'm a complete stranger to him, yet he saved my life. I take a deep, steadying breath. This time, when I speak, I sound a bit more like myself. Faye. My name is Faye. It is a pleasure to meet you, Faye. There's a little more warmth in his smile, his polite demeanour back in an instant. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for saving my life. I chance a smile in return, even if he won't explain how he did the impossible. There's no doubt in my mind that I'd be dead if not for Chorus. Think nothing of it. I'm not sure if he's just being excessively courteous, but his words only raise more urgent questions. I need a drink. Hang on, I'm gonna text my mom. I have to ask, why did you save me? You don't know me. The question seems to startle Chorus. I could hardly leave you to die in the wastes. Assisting those in need is the very essence of a doctor's duty. I've never met a doctor who also handed out 3 clothes. My fingers find the edge of the cloak. There's a subtle but delicately embroidered pattern around the hem. I try not to think about what price Chorus might demand for such well-made clothes. No, I suppose not. Forgive my presumption. I rarely come across such a fascinating patient. I blink. What did he just say? I simply meant that few would cling to life so resolutely, or brave such a perilous journey to Iridia. I could not help being curious about you, Faye. His voice dips to a soft murmur, and he abruptly looks away from me. You're pretty curious yourself. Am I? That expression. He looks like a manipulative little cat. He's a kitty boy. I haven't forgotten about my arm. I wiggle my intact fingers at him. Clearly not. But you haven't asked me for any payment either. I require none from you. Travellers do not have an abundance of coin, and leaving you destitute in a strange place would be unethical. I love this man. I fall silent, unsure of what to say. Nobody would help a horror like me for free. There has to be some kind of catch or trick, right? A loud knock at the front door stops our conversation cold, and spares me from having to say anything else. Duty calls. Unfortunately, you are not my only patient today. The knocking grows more insistent, and Chorus lets out a tired sigh. Please wait. Though he says it quietly, the clamour on the other side of the door abruptly stops. Do you need anything before you leave, Faye? Oh. Between the Solar's attack and my miraculous survival, I'd almost forgotten why I came to Iridia in the first place. I need directions to the Cenobium. The Cenobium? The look on his face is downright chilling. He pauses, choosing his words with cold deliberation when he speaks again. Whatever you seek, it is very unlikely you will find it there. The Cenobium's gates open for precious few visitors. Hi, thank you for the squash. Sorry, my mum just got me some squash. My throat hurts for so much for some reason. Okay. Okay, yeah. The Cenobium's gates open for precious few visitors. And even if they opened for you, you would not like what you found inside. My heart sinks. Is he saying that I came all this way for nothing? Risk life and limb for nothing? No, that can't be. I've only just arrived, and Iridia is the largest city still standing. There has to be a cure for me here. Then if not the Cenobium, where would you suggest? Do you know anyone else in Iridia? I shake my head. Then I suggest a local guide. Head to the Wet Wick and ask for Leander, the leader of the Adderstone. Excuse me, the wet what? The Wet Wick. Sounds deeply unamused. Follow the Adderstone postings. They are difficult to miss. When you meet Leander, tell him I sent you. There isn't much to go on, but Chorus points towards the back door. You will be safe, so long as you do not draw attention to yourself. It's easier said than done. I've always been a magnet for the worst sort of attention. If you require my assistance, you may return whenever you wish. Though he's smiling, there's a note of finality in his voice. Resigned to my dismissal, I slip out the back door. No! I don't want to leave. Damn it. I find myself standing in a narrow and rather gloomy alley. I pull the new cloak up over my nose, stepping over the contents of emptied chamber pots. Ugh. What is this, London? Something weighs heavily inside one of the cloak's pockets. My coin purse. Every last coin that I'd scraped together for the journey to Iridia is still inside. The purse doesn't even look like it was opened. There were so few coins to begin with, they probably weren't worth stealing. I glanced back at the clinic's closed door. Curse had taken any payment. It didn't even ask for a future favor. He also said that in Iridia secrets are power. Does he expect me to give up mine at some point? That's not exactly a comforting thought. Still, no matter why he did it, Curse gave me a second chance and a lead on where I might find help. Better get going before he changes his mind. Squeeze out of the alley and into the crowded main street. The line outside Curse's clinic stretches down the road. Two thin peddlers queue alongside weathered elders. If any place is in desperate need of a free clinic, it's this one. The cobblestones are treacherously rough underneath my feet, deep grooves worn between them by regular flooding and decades of hard use. I knew Iridia was a river city, but I didn't expect it to look so eroded. The buildings are tired and dilapidated, all crammed together in narrow streets. And there's something else, a charge in the air. Sorry, my throat did a thing. There's something else, a charge in the air, like the shift in pressure before a storm. It's subtle, little more than a faint, persistent thrumming, but I can't seem to shake the sensation. A child darts by, clutching something greasy wrapped in paper. The smell of fried food drifts over to me, and my stomach gives a faint gurgle. This morning's catch. Fried up, hot and fresh, not too many eyeballs today. That sounds disgusting. It does. Saying exactly what I'm thinking. But I'm starving, so I duck my head under the stall's grubby awning. A large fish leers up at me, its three bulging eyes still visible through the thick layer of crispy batter. The vendor gives me a gap-toothed grin. Ugh. What's the cheapest thing you got? Vendor points at a metal basket of what looks like long strips of savory fried dough. That sounds a lot better. Fresh long, lads, 3 copper apiece, don't burn your mouth. Take the coins out, counting them gingerly. At this rate, I might not even be able to afford dinner. Reluctantly, I drop the payment on the counter and take my meal. Two streets later, I pass under a wrought iron archway adorned with dangling garlands of red and pink lilies. Oh, these look very nice. Are these the rich people areas? The buildings in this quarter are a dizzying riot of colour, painted walls and tinted glass everywhere I look. Sheer red and pink curtains flutter in open doorways, musical voices call out invitingly, incense mingles with the pungent scents of flowers, barely covering the salt and musk of warm bodies. I've got to say, this kind of feels like a D&D campaign. I've never really played a visual novel that's so well world-built like this. Actually, that might be a lie. The Arcana also has pretty good world building in it. This must be Iridia's entertainment district. I'm polishing off my food and dusting the crumbs from my hands when I spot a poster. It features the silhouette of a smiling man wearing a single dagger-like earring and the words "The Adderstone" printed above his head. If Leander is the leader of the Adderstone, then the face printed on the poster is likely his. I follow the line of identical posters around a corner and nearly hit my head on a precariously dangling wooden sign. Looking up, faded orange letters read "The Wet Wick." The facade of the building looks like it's seen better days, but I hear faint music and laughter coming from inside. It's not even midday, yet the Wick is packed. A loose collection of Iridians crowd the bar, taking up the tables and gathering in the spaces between. They speak amongst each other in hushed voices, their faces drawn and grave. I can sense their apprehension, even without hearing their words. A cursory glance doesn't turn up anyone with a dagger-shaped earring, and I'm considering searching the bar when a loud voice carries across the room. Now, I'm no prior or curator, I'm not much for paperwork or pencil pushing, and honestly, I don't even think those robes come in my size. I crane my neck, but the crowd is too dense for me to see the speaker. Gather around, I want to show you all something. There's no time to move out the way. The audience surges towards the center of the room in a sudden torrent. I'm caught and swept along with them. Hey! The clatter of falling chairs and tables being shoved aside drowns out my complaints. I thrash and throw out my elbows as heavy bodies press into mine. My hip knocks into a table. I grip it, holding on tight to steady myself, but the crowd is stilled. A pair of gilded boots stride across the tabletop. If you want nothing but guidelines and practical policies and needless bureaucracy, you know where to go. I track my eyes upwards. No, I like this view. Let's stay at this view, I think. Oh, he's pretty. A man towers on the table in front of me, arms spread as he addresses his rapt audience. Ooh. Hello, Leander. But I'm not going to wait for word from on high. His impassioned words provoke nods and excited whispers. But nothing is as captivating as his brilliant smile. He beams at the crowd around him, a performer on his makeshift stage. Unlike those clerics, I don't need the abbess's approval to cast a spell or two. As he raises his hand above the audience, the dagger-shaped earring dangling from his left ear catches the light in a flash of gold. It seems I've found Leander. These are our streets. We make our own luck here. He snaps and a flash of pale green light erupts from his hand. With a flick of his wrist, Leander conjures a ribbon of glittering light. A delicate flower stem sprouts from between his pinched fingers. One by one, glowing lily petals unfurl. It's really pretty. Leander raises the flowers with a flourish, and the bar bursts into clapping and cheers. I just need to... I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say on Twitch, but I don't know if you could see my mouse, but I'm enjoying this area. There's been like a whole thing online about the male gaze versus the female gaze when it comes to men. This is the female gaze. This is it. Leander raises the flowers with a flourish, and the bar bursts into clapping and cheers. A magic demonstration was the last thing I expected from a place called the Wet Wick. They're going to keep pointing that out, aren't they? Leander plucks the shimmering flowers out of the air and turns in a slow circle. Now, who could use some good luck? Eager onlookers scoot closer towards the table. I just mussed that up, but... Oh well, you get the gist. But Leander's cool green eyes slide right over them and lock on me instead. How about you? My chest grows tight. Suddenly I'm in the spotlight. I'll take him. I reach out and take the flowers from him, all too aware of my trembling fingers. There's no weight to them, only a faint warmth that radiates from the stems. As soon as the lilies leave Leander's hand, they dim and they fade away in a shower of opalescent light. To my surprise, Leander laughs under his breath. That's the problem with flowers. They don't last long, but they leave an impression, right? He grins at me, and I find myself smiling back. Leander steps off the table, dropping among the excited crowd with a clink. Alright, show's over. Back to work, everyone. The audience disperses and Leander heads towards the bar. Now's my chance. I start after him, only to find myself face to face with one of his followers. Where do you think you're going? I just talk to Leander. Aha, you and half are Lowtown. Leander's busy right now. Out of stone business. Come back tonight. After the moment we shared, surely Leander can spare a word. But the follower crosses her arms, unmoved. I glance over her shoulder, hoping to catch a glimpse of Leander. So sensing my gaze, he looks up, and for a moment our eyes lock. Then Leander turns away to murmur something to the group gathered around him. follower moves to block my view. You hear me? I'm not looking for trouble. This Dr. Kura said I should find Leander. That's... She's interrupted by a hand resting on her shoulder. Kura sent you? He said you could help me. Leander nods at the woman, and she steps aside wordlessly. Follow me. He leads me to the crowded bar. There's so little room that his broad shoulder presses against mine. I tense, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. Whoa. Sorry about that. The Addis don't watch out for one another, but they can be overprotective at times. Lesson learned. Leander flashes me a broad grin. I can say that word, broad. You're new to Iridia, aren't you? He says it with a genuine air of curiosity. Do I stick out that much? No, but I'm certain I'd remember seeing a face as lovely as yours around Lowtown. Marry me. My eyes drop to the polished countertop. I'm not used to flattery, and being this close makes eye contact difficult. We don't need eye contact. We don't need that. As if on cue, the bartender approaches us. Will it be? Surprise me and add anything my friend wants to my tab. I'll have what he's having. While the bartender leaves to fix our drinks, Leander leans his elbows on the counter. His sleeves ride up, revealing a long raised scar. I catch myself following its winding path across his forearm. Leander's eyes wander over me in return, and they lock on my bandaged hands. A bitter taste rises in my throat. Here come the questions. Is there any chance Kura sent you here for cheap drinks or barely edible appetizers? No. He pushes his hair back from his forehead, sighing when it immediately falls back into place. That's a doctor for you, always business. Not sure he even knows how to relax. Bartender returns with a pair of glasses. I raise mine and give it an experimental sniff. It smells faintly yeasty, like beer, but with an undercurrent I can't quite place. That sounds awful. Quick sip confirms my worst suspicions. It's awful. Briny and sour with a distinct hint of pickle flavoring. Pickle? What? Beside me, Leander takes a deep swig from his glass. No, Leander, I liked you, but if your breath smells like pickle... He's a 10, but he drinks pickle juice. No, not pickle breath. Please. Oh, God. So how can I help you? Can you stop drinking pickle? I need to get to the Cenobium. As soon as the word Cenobium leaves my mouth, the group standing nearby falls silent. From the wary looks thrown my way, it's clear I've broken some taboo. You already got this from Chorus. Why did I say it again? It had to be the Cenobium. Leander pushes away from the counter. Let's continue this conversation outside. I rise to follow him. Leander leads me into an alleyway tucked behind the wet wick. Layers upon layers of frayed and faded Addistone posters plaster to the walls. He really just puts those posters all over the walls. Seeing them side by side. Oh. Sorry, I took a drink and it broke my voice for a second. Seeing them side by side, the resemblance between Leander and his printed likeness is impressive, if abstract. Kirsten sent you here to ask for a personal escort for the Cenobium, did he? From his tone, he already knows the answer. No, he suggested that I reconsider. Yet here you are, asking about a guide anyway. He looks at me expectantly. I don't want to tell him about my curse. The less people know about my monstrous capabilities, the better. Thankfully, Leander takes my reluctant silence as an answer. Are you aware of Iridia's particular currency? Information's worth its weight in gold here. I don't much care for outdated traditions, I'll be completely honest. The Cenobium won't help you. They're more likely to torture you than lend you a hand. But the Cenobium is supposed to be a place of learning. Sanctuary. Cenobium has always been heralded as the last bastion of human knowledge, a shining beacon of hope in a fading world. If any place held answers, it would be the Cenobium. That's why I came here. Leander nods patiently. You're not the first person to fall for their You're not the first person to fall for their propaganda. I grew up idolizing the Cenobium. I want nothing more than to join their ranks, learn magic from the best, to make a real difference. I was young and blinded by the legends and the legacy. I was so damn naive. He shakes his head. All it took was one trip here to Lowtown to show me the truth. Unless you got a heavy purse or high-born blood, the Cenobium doesn't give a damn. They'll never open their gates for the ones who need help the most. And it's all a lie? Things that seem too good to be true are often just that. Such a simple statement, and yet it leaves me reeling. Leander watches me as though weighing something in his mind. That doesn't mean you're hopeless. Far from it. I founded the Outerstone to help people like you. We settle disputes, slay feral soulless. Oh, we've even been known to patch a leaky roof or two. Whatever troubles you, we can help, free of charge. I'm shaking my head before he's even finished his speech. My patience is wearing dangerously thin. I appreciate the offer, but my problem can't be solved by a group of good Samaritans. To my chagrin, Leander doesn't look remotely surprised. Then you're looking for help with something serious. Something not even Curus could crack. It must be a truly remarkable problem if you came all the way to Iridia searching for help. Tell me, how can I help you? Leander may not work for Cenobium, but he is a mage. Powerful one if his demonstration earlier is any indication. Indecision gnaws at me. I don't know if I can trust him, but it's not like I have any alternatives. Hate to admit it, but this might be my only path forward. My confession comes out in a strained whisper. I'm cursed. He looks me up and down, taking in my face, my eyes, and finally my hands. Is that why you bandage your hands? My touch is dangerous. It changes people, hurts them. Before I've even finished, Leander pulls his left glove off. He flexes his fingers and grins. Alright, let's see it. As he offers me his hand, a prismatic flash of magic ripples across his palm, but I'm already shrinking backwards. I can't. I don't care how confident Leander is. I won't allow myself to hurt him. To see his kind face unrecognizably warped. I don't want to hurt you. I'll be fine, trust me. I've seen enough curses and hexes to last me 2 lifetimes, and I'm still standing. Do you really think Curus would send you if I can handle it? How should I know? I only met him today. Twice as good as any Cenobian mage. If anyone can help you, it's me. You don't know what you're asking me. I'm asking you to trust me. Look from Leander's outstretched hand to his confident smile. Then I begin unwinding the bandages from my hand. If you lose control, don't say I didn't warn you. You could tie me up first if that makes you feel better. His attempt at levity does little to comfort me. With each joint I expose, I grow increasingly certain this is a terrible idea. But if he's bothered by how my hand looks, he doesn't show it. Alright, deep breath on my count. My fingers hover shakily over Leander's palm. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna save this. I'm worried I will send him insane. If I do send him insane, I'm gonna hold back. Touch him. I tap his palm once as quickly as possible. It's barely more than a brush, but that's all it ever takes. Heart racing, my eyes dart to his face, but Leander only smiles gently. See? Can't be. When I reach for his palm again, Leander catches my wrist before I can pull back. I told you, there's really nothing to worry about. Trails off when my thumb graces the soft skin of his inner wrist. I search Leander's face for traces of madness, but his eyes remain a clear, soft green. Neither of us speak as I trace the contours of his palm, lost in an awareness I wasn't anticipating. It's not as though I've never been touched before. My curse only extends to my hands, and desperation spurs creativity. But all that pales in comparison to this. I've never experienced such intimacy. My fingers, long deprived by years of bandaging, pick up every single detail. The grooves along his palm, the smooth shell of his nails, the bones in his wrist. For as long as I've lived, I've never been able to hold someone's hand without dire consequences. I never realized what I was missing. This is so romantic. Oh my gosh. While Leander's pulse is steady, mine hammers as fear gives way to excitement. Keep touching him. My hand glides over Leander's wrist and up his arm, where smooth skin abruptly gives way to a raised scar. It matches the one that runs from his collar to his cheekbone. Could be the same wound. When I glance at Leander's face, his lips part as he considers his words. Am I the first person you've been able to touch like this? My hand goes still on his arm. So far. And is it everything you wanted? When I nod, Leander turns my hand in his to inspect the gleaming fissures crisscrossing my knuckles. There's no revulsion in his face, no fear. He looks up at me and grins. It's not every day I meet someone as enticing as gold. He winks and lets me go. I'm blushing, bro. I'm blushing. I love him. I really like Chorus, but I also really, really, really like him. Look at him. I draw my hand back and take a steadying breath. My head feels like it's stuffed with cotton. Habit alone guides me through the motions of rewrapping my hand, although my fingers tremble too much for the bandages to lie flat. I can't believe that worked. I've really forgotten my manners. May I ask your name? I'm Faye. Faye. This curse of yours is unlike anything I've ever seen before. I could tell you're careful, but it's best you kept this between us. You staying in Lowtown? I paused. Room and board was something I'd yet to consider. I don't know. Let's get you properly settled then. The wick is noticeably quieter. Without their leader, most of Leander's followers have dispersed, and in a few cases fallen asleep beside their drinks. Got any rooms left, or did my lot grab them all to sleep it off? The bartender, who I now realise doubles as an innkeeper, slides a key onto the counter. Usual room? Leander's laugh sounds slightly strained. Oh, not that kind of room. No, not today. This is just my friend Faye. Right, stay as long as you like. You two have fun. Have fun? Leander clears his throat, then holds the key out to me. I hesitate. My coin purse barely holds enough for a day's worth of meals, let alone a room. How much do I owe you? Nothing. My treat, since you shared your secret. Food, drink, a warm bed, anything you need. Carefully I take the key from him. It's small but heavy in my palm. I never expected to have a warm bed in Iridia, let alone 3 meals. Thank you. Iridia is twice as dangerous as it is wondrous. Be careful out there. If you need a reprieve from what haunts you, come find me. I nod, taking one last look at the gleaming bronze key before tucking it into the pocket of my cloak for safekeeping. Leander gives me a friendly wave before returning to the bar. Dusk glitters in the sparse rays of light illuminating the room. The furniture is tired, the walls cracked, and a large lumpy bed serves as the centerpiece. I can't remember the last time I slept in a bed. Never imagined I'd sleep in one tonight. When I collapse onto the bed, the springs let out shrill squeaks. Finally, I can allow myself to rest. My eyes fall shut before long. Okay, we have finished day 1. Maybe not necessarily night 1, but we finished day 1. It's the morning now. It is the morning, we finished day 1. And we didn't die, so that's good. I wake to pale sunlight filtering through the narrow windows. Despite the clamour of the tavern below, the precious hours of rest have restored my strength and given me a flicker of cautious optimism. If I play my cards right, today could be the day I get closer to finding a cure. I quickly head out of the wet wick. The air clings sodden and heavy with the lingering scent of rain. Without the afternoon crowd, the district looks barren and bleak. In the middle of the street, a pair of crows quibble over stale bread crusts. I pause, watching them while I consider my next move. Chris and Leander both made it clear that the Cenobium can't be trusted. I came so far and endured too much to give up now. I need to see the Cenobium for myself, if only to satisfy my curiosity. Surely someone in the bar can point me in the right direction. I'm about to turn back when a shadow passes over me. A cloud, I think, until a puff of hot breath tickles the back of my neck. Hello? The shadow trickles down the street in rivulets. Formless dark spreads like ink blotted into shapes. Well, ink into blotted shapes. Claws stretch, a muzzle splits open to reveal long, jagged teeth. A growl rumbles so low and deep I feel it in my chest. Is this one of my oracle's visions? I want to run, to scream, but I feel trapped, as though the slightest movement or breath will snap the jaws around me shut. No, I won't let it end like this. If I'm going to die, I want to look what got me in the eye first. I steel myself, then turn. Shadow vanishes as quickly as it came. I'm left standing in the middle of the street, alone save for a figure reclining in the shade of a nearby stoop. It's him! Oh, I'm wondering, is he like a wolf or is he a fox? Because he kind of looks like he could be both. The colouring makes me inclined to think fox. And he's got like kitsune-esque marks. So maybe a fox. Just taking a drink. A monster, that much is clear from a glance. One that could nearly be mistaken for human were it not for the tufted ears, the tail curled around his ankle. All the dusk pink eyes with pupils that sharpen like needles when they fall on me. We lock gazes and the monster uncrosses his long legs. His hair gleams a shade of red that reminds me unsettlingly of blood where it curls around his collared throat. Oh, he's a pet. Jumpy, aren't you? His tone is so light and carefree that I glance over my shoulder to make sure he's speaking to me. When I look back, the stranger props his chin on his knuckles and regards me with an inscrutable grin. Damn. Did you see that shadow just now? It was massive, moved like a beast. Even as I speak, I'm aware of how ridiculous I must sound, but the stranger's smile doesn't falter. The only beasts I've seen are the wick-dribbling regulars, though this did catch my eye. With a hang on. No, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. I value my account on Twitch too much. With a flick of his wrist, my in-room key dangles from his finger, turns on its chain, glittering when it catches the light. My hands fly to my cloak's pockets and sure enough find them flat. He crooks his finger, beckoning. I've already taken 2 steps forward before some stifled instinct stops me. Something feels wrong. I'm still on the edge, swimming with so much adrenaline that the stranger's shadow flickers at the edges of my vision. I always seem to attract the worst kind of attention, but I can't get rattled now. You said that's my key. You said that's mine. He smiled wide enough to reveal sharp fangs. I saw you drop it. You really should be more careful. A city like this, someone might take advantage. Bold-faced lies said without a hint of irony. I approached the monster, careful to keep an arm's length away. He doesn't look dangerous, but the most deadly ones never do. He's so cute! Oh my god, I love him. Stranger's chain softly clinks with a tilt of his head. His ears flick. Keeping your distance? I'd be stupid to trust you. You think I stole your dinky little key from all the way over here? He gives an exaggerated sigh. I'm good with my hands, but not that good. Do I really look like a common thief to you? Kinda. Yeah. Yeah, kinda. He's got me there. The sheer fabric of his sleeves alone would be too expensive for most street thieves. Hell, his shoes look like they cost more than I spent travelling here. Yeah, but he looks mischievous. Maybe he just does it for fun. Then there's the shop behind him. No matter the city, parted pink curtains only ever mean one thing. I'm not looking to buy, and I doubt I could afford your services anyway. Luckily for you, I don't charge. The man runs the tip of his tongue over a fang, and for the first time since I stepped into that shadow, I feel something other than dread. My face grows hot. Oh! I didn't mean to assume. I'm flattered, really. Do you think you could pay to pet my ears? I just need my key back. Ask nicely, and I might even let you tug my tail. Just throw it here, so some spindly little street urchin can snatch it and run. He raises my key and tilts his head so he can watch it dangle back and forth. Did you see him pout? That was so cute. I suppose I could just claim your room for myself. Not that I'd be caught dead slumming in the wick with the rest of those slack-jawed imbeciles. You're obviously not from around here, so tell me, traveller, what misfortune brought you to this wretched place? His voice practically drips with derision. I'm not telling you anything. Oh, what could have possibly drawn you to this dreary little pig pen, I wonder? He listlessly watches the arc of my key swinging around his finger. The weather's shit, the food's dreck, and there's entirely too many monsters for a human to feel safe. Unless... Dagger-sharp eyes flick towards me. Ah, he's forward-facing! That took me off guard for some reason. He's like staring right at me. They gleam bright with amusement. Unless you're just dying to consort with monsters. By now, my embarrassment has worn away, leaving simmering impatience in its place. This is a shakedown. It's the most frustrating one I've ever heard of. I'm worried if I walk away, he's gonna kill me. Or something like that. Anyways, play it on with him. How did you know that I spent all my money starved and nearly died in a swamp just so I could crawl into bed with the first thirsty monster I met? That earns me a burst of breathy laughter. He gazes at me under his dark lashes. Aren't you funny? Could you be any more obvious? I have been told subtlety is not my strength. So your place or mine? I'd invite you if I had my key. His languid gaze glides from me to the key in his hand and back. Take my hand and we'll go together. The more he flirts, the more convinced I become that this is some kind of trap. No matter how innocent monsters look, they always have tricks up their sleeves. Something tells me that this one's more dangerous than he lets on, even if he has a lovely laugh. I don't know what you want or why you're messing with me. I'm not coming any closer until I know you aren't going to attack me. Or bite. I won't bite hard unless you beg me. No matter what I say, he finds a way to twist my words into innuendo. Damn. Even when I'm silent, he goes on as though we're having a conversation, not a standoff. Do you like dancing? There's a travelling troupe performing in Hightown tonight. Their loot is utterly exquisite. Truly a performance to die for. There's life in this dreadful place if you know where to look. You sound like you know the city well. The monster's gaze flickers from me to the key hanging from his finger. Naturally, this dump was little more than a miserable little smear on a map when I first arrived. Hightown, Lowtown, I know already like the back of my hand. What about the Cenobium? Do you know where that is? The smile vanishes. Surely you've seen it. The absurdly large tower looming over the rest. It's a little hard to miss. It must be in that spire I noticed when I first caught sight of Iridia. Cenobium's overrated, forget about it. I can show you things those stuffy boars in their Limdic tower couldn't even dream of. What'd you say? How about the two of us have a little adventure? I love him. Although he might get me banned from Twitch. I've already got plans. Oh, have you some pressing matters at Cenobium? Lunch dates with librarians, tea time with the most esteemed abbess? It's my business. What's the matter to you? I square my shoulders and the amusement bleeds out of him. Your loss. Stranger, finally bored of his own tedious game, extends his hand towards me. The key rests on his palm, neatly dividing skin and leather. He makes no other move. I reach for the key, but as soon as my fingers graze smooth brass, his hand springs shut around my elbow. Hey! He yanks me down and I stagger, my shoes slipping on the steps. For a sick moment, I fear my bandages will unravel under his touch, but he's careful not to disturb them even as he grips my arm. What is happening with his eyes? He has no pupils anymore. I knew I smelled blood. You reek of the road and death. And that fucking doctor. Ooh, there's law here. Okay. His voice, once silken, lowers to a smoky growl. Shadows around him seethe and boil. Something else. He murmurs against my throat, nose grazing my jaw. His breath trails down my neck, sending a sort of dread through me. I'm starting to wonder if this is appropriate for Twitch. His wide, flat eyes gleam with naked hunger as he gazes at me. Let go. Just when I fear he'll bite, his grip loosens and his eyes widen with awe. Seems I underestimated you. You're... Fear. Stranger's ears flatten. He releases me with a short breath. I yank my arm back, massaging my bandages. He twists around to see a woman duck out from under the curtains behind him. Her pressed white uniform marks her as a cleric of the Cenobium. I leave you for all of what, 10 minutes and you're making trouble again. You quit harassing the tourists. The stranger, Veer I take it, rolls his eyes and flashes the cleric a withering smile. So suspicious. Can't you see this is a friend of mine? Natural liar. He grins at me and his tail swishes coyly. The woman purses her lips at me, clearly unconvinced. I open my mouth to correct him, but Veer cuts in. I was graciously offering my dear friend some free advice. Though his voice remains light and cheerful, his expression darkens. Danger's drawn to you like a moth to a flame. It will always find you given time. The woman clucks her tongue as though she's heard this recital 102 times. Word to the wise, don't take free advice from lazy foxes lounging in the streets. This crook would sell water to a drowning man for the sheer enjoyment of it. She shrugs off a wilting look from Via. Oh, please, any friend of yours knows it's true. Now hold still. Via rises gracefully at her approach. He pushes his hair aside so it drapes over one shoulder, exposing the long line of his neck. And suddenly it dawns on me that the jingling I heard earlier wasn't coming from his harness, but a heavy iron chain wound around a hitching post and padlocked to the back of his collar. The woman produces a crowded keyring from her pocket. She rifles through a dozen identical keys before selecting one and slotting it into the lock. Come on, unless your friend's dragging along on our merry little solace hunt. Hunting for solace inside the city? Words momentarily fail me. The cleric regards me with a polite, if tight, smile before marching down the stairs. Via lingers. He stretches his arms over his head with a yawn, and I try not to stare at the way his stomach flattens when he arches his back. Your little secret's safe with me. Trying to get yourself killed, Via hops off the stoop and bounds after the woman. His tail sways merrily, as though he hadn't just lied and threatened me. Did you try that thing I mentioned, the Leventian knot? Not the one where you take 3 fingers and... Actually, don't tell me, knowing you, it's probably disgusting. Via's airy laughter echoes down the street. It's only after he and the cleric have vanished from sight that I realize I'm still missing something. Wait! Reflexively, I shove my hands into my pocket and find it, the room key. I raise it to the light. Sure enough, it's my key. Realization is hardly comforting. Don't know what Via's game was or what he wanted from me. All I know for certain is that the Cenobium saw fit to leash him. A fate I could share if that's what his vague warning meant. I let my eyes drift skyward, past the lanterns gently swaying in the breeze with the Cenobium faintly visible through the haze. Just one glimpse is all I need, and then I can put this all behind me. This time the keys goes into my coin purse for safekeeping. It's easy enough to follow the winding streets, climbing uphill towards the distant tower. Hours later, legs aching, sweat beading on my forehead, I finally find what I'm searching for. The Cenobium of the Luminous Void. It stands at the highest point of Iridia, surrounded by cold white walls. Well-dressed people stroll down the walkways, ignoring the massive tower in their midst. I'm the only one standing before the gates. I crane my neck up until the top of the Cenobium spire disappears into the clouds overhead. My stomach gives an uneasy lurch. Though far grander than the humble shrine of my youth, the Cenobium is eerily reminiscent of a gilded birdcage. Knocking seems like a terrible idea, but I don't see any other way of making my presence known. I'm halfway up the steps when something moves in my peripheral vision. A shadowy figure crouches beneath one of the white walls. They reach out and tug on a vine as if testing its strength. Oi, you there! Shadow vanishes as quickly as I spotted it, and a gaunt-faced man in a crisp charcoal uniform marches up the steps towards me. Ugh, another tourist. Get out of here once you're done gawking. Dismissive wave accompanies his equally dismissive words, and he turns without even waiting for my response. I look back at where I saw the intruder, but there's nothing. Just the leaves blowing gently in a cool breeze. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink really quick. I step away from the gates, hopelessness washing over me. Hello. A whisper coats the back of my ear, hot and syrupy. I jerk away but find no one beside me. Instead, halfway down the staircase, I spot a girl peering up at me. She's barefoot, draped in several layers of worn, moth-eaten clothing. Peculiar metal jewelry hangs across her face and jingles with each slight movement. Her eyes are a most striking feature. They shine a scorching, unnatural crimson. It feels like staring into the sun, yet I'm strangely captivated by her. She tilts her head, the tinkling of metal riding the wind. Do you need help? I want to say I do, but this could get me killed, so I'm gonna say it. I'm unsure how to respond. The air is charged with a mysterious energy, as if each of my words is worth its weight in gold. In the off chance she can help me, I might as well be somewhat truthful. I do, but wanting it is another question. The giggle she makes is a chiming, fluttering sound. You're honest. I like that. She dips into a polite curtsy. My name is Iris. I was like you once, hopeless and alone. The ones in the tower won't help with your pain. I might be able to, though. I try not to dwell on the fact that I'm recognizably desperate. Instead, I focus on her vague offer as I descend the steps. You don't know what I'm looking for. You need what everyone needs in this world. A miracle. Iris turns and my thoughts abruptly scatter. Pitted skin snakes down her shoulders, blooming from a gaping hole in the back of her neck. A shuddering breath escapes me. Fuck? Whatever disease she had consumed her from the inside out. How was she able to move or breathe? It's impossible. She should be alive, and yet I only get a glimpse before she faces me once more, this time looking a bit bashful. I know it's not pretty, but that's not what matters. The sea spring can cure anything. It can cure you too. Her shining eyes flick to my bandaged hands, then up again, so quick I nearly miss it. I stand there, wordless. It's a twisted miracle, but a miracle nonetheless. She extends a hand out to me, her delicate fingers outstretched. I can take you there if you'd like. You can decide on your own when you see it. Her hand is frail, marred with tiny wounds. It's the epitome of vulnerability, the complete opposite of the Cenobium's mocking, impenetrable gaze. If I say no, it's your choice. Truth is, I don't have much of a choice, not right now at least. Wonder if Iris knows that somehow. If there's any hope of finding a cure, I need to follow every lead, including seeing the sea spring for myself. I cautiously slide my hand into hers. Her skin is ice cold through my bandages. I wish we got to see a character design for her. We descend from the higher streets, abandoning their gilded decadence as we cross the river. The wet, derelict districts hold more familiarity for me. However, Iris leads me farther still, until I met with an all too familiar sight. My gut lurches when I face the open horizon. The sea spring is straight ahead. Rydia's outskirts are hardly recognizable in daylight, but venturing beyond city walls is a gamble I wasn't prepared to take so soon. I shake my head and pull away from Iris. I'm not leaving the city. She circles in front of me with a placating gesture. Don't be scared. I promise you it's all right. You're as safe inside the city as outside of it. And this stretch before you is the safest of all. She casts a wistful gaze out over the waste, as if admiring something beyond the vista. This region belongs to Ice. Some call him a gang leader, but he's much more than that. It's difficult to string my thoughts together. Only a fool would leave the city, but a primal instinct tells me that Iris isn't lying. She twirls around with another curtsy, jewelry twinkling playfully in the sunlight. Her doe eyes soften with a smile. As I said, it's your choice. Thank you for coming this far. I hope we meet again, Faye. I blink and she's gone. Confusion grips me as I look around, searching for any trace of her. I don't remember telling her my name. I'm completely alone, with only the vast nothingness of the waste for company. Did I just imagine everything? No, that whole encounter was real. Again, that primal instinct insists on it, just like it insisted on Iris's honesty. The sea spring is straight ahead. If it managed to cure Iris, I need to see what it could do for me. I venture forth, nerves and determination roiling together in my chest. My heart pounds with each step I take from civilization. It doesn't take me long to realize it's not the only heartbeat I hear. Like a flitting gnat in the back of my mind, I'm certain there's another pulse thrumming through the earth underfoot. I felt this presence before, when I first set foot in Iridia. It's like a living dread coursing beneath the city, only this time it's drawing me closer. For what seems like an eternity, I force each foot forward, one step then another, until a realization hits me. I never told Iris my name. I knew it. I knew I didn't tell her my name. Something pierces the horizon ahead of me, a building nestled into a tall cliffside. It appears so starkly out of place that it might as well be a hallucination. Dripping with extravagance and adorned in honeyed mahogany, it's an ornate jewel of architecture. Dark silhouettes skirt it on both sides. Trees, I think, until I'm close enough to realize that what I mistook for branches were spikes and jutting tendrils. Soulless, several of them watch me in the distance like statues. Flashes of last night chase me, the gushes of blood and screams of death. The smell of burning flesh and the sour bile. I can't go through that again, I won't. Slowly into a messy sprint, I push my legs as fast as they'll take me towards the decorated building. The next thing I know, I'm dashing up wooden stairs and crashing through towering double doors. My lungs burn from exertion. I gasp for breath, desperate to be safe, when I orient myself with my surroundings. It's more hellscape than sanctuary. Blood flows all around me, overwhelming my vision with a lurid, unholy red. Instinctively, my hand leaps to my mouth, but the rotten stench of blood never comes. Instead, a smoky scent hangs in the air, sharp and spiced. I swallow thickly, convincing myself that it's not as gruesome as it appears. This has to be the sea spring, the place that grants miracles. Tall pillars flank me, blanketed in written notes. Seating pillows scatter the floor. A rustic kettle sits nearby. Someone must live here, despite how eerily empty it is. I'm gonna call out. Better to announce my presence, I think. Hello, is anyone here? My voice echoes across the cavern without response. I approach the paper-covered pillars. Maybe something here can tell me more. I reach for the closest one. Reach for a note in front of me. It reads, Dear Mother, don't cry for me. I'm sorry I didn't say goodbye, but we'll meet again in another life. I love you very much. P.S. If you ever see me, never speak to me again. It's written in perfect cursive. I've never seen such beautiful handwriting. Before I can ponder it further, a sharp chill runs down my spine. Something's watching me. I quickly set the note back, my eyes darting around the wooden deck, but it's still empty. Finally, I look towards the sea spring. That stillness hides something deeper, something wrong, and familiar. Hey. I spin around and come face to face with a pack of soulless. They chitter and growl, tendrils and spikes flaring threateningly, all different sizes and species but sharing one identical trait, glowing crimson eyes. I try to back away, but my heel teeters over the sea spring. I'm cornered. Watch your step. It's deeper than it looks. That voice again. At the sound of it, the soulless freeze, their snarls quieting. Hello. Hello. Interesting. They know what they're doing by having every encounter start like this. Cheese. Search for the voice's source and find it above me, lounging in the rafters. Oh, pretty. You look lost, little sparrow. His gaze is a violent crimson, one that sears through me, leaves me feeling raw and exposed. Not sure what voice to do for him. They're the same eyes I've seen over and over, first with Iris, now the soulless circling me, all bound by the sea spring's blood red. In the shroud of darkness behind him, shapes like massive tentacles twist and coil around the wooden beams. Whoa, tentacle boy. Can't focus, the soulless growls ring in my ears. They're not advancing, but that could change at any second. Panic rises in my throat as I struggle to track them. Hey! Eyes on me. My stomach rolls as I tear my eyes away from the soulless. Don't ignore someone who's talking to you, it's not polite. For a moment, anger knocks my fear aside. Who is this bastard? I just want to see what happens. Fuck you. I pry into his unnerving eyes and hold his gaze defiantly. Fuck you, is that better? Crooked grin cracks across his face. Yeah, we'll work on it. He's labelled as bastard. I scan the soulless again. They really aren't attacking and are posturing more than anything else. It's as if they're waiting for commands. Did you tame them? Power of the sea spring. They're hungry, so they might bite. You could give me a reason to stop them. How about I didn't do anything wrong? Trespassing. And that's punishable by death? He gives a non-committal shrug. I called out earlier to see if anyone was here. Were we supposed to play hide and seek? I didn't hear you. My voice stops in my throat. This bastard's terse coolness is both infuriating and terrifying, and incredibly lovable. I rack my brain for a way to diffuse the situation. Tell me what you want. I'm not in the mood for guessing games. Your hands. Alarm jolts through me. I hide my hands under my cloak. Show me. Why? One asked twice. The sharp exhale, I reluctantly hold out my bandaged hands. You getting off on this? Unwrap them. Heat rushes to my face and fire to my tongue. I should give him a piece of my mind, but not when his soulless are one command away from ripping me to shreds. And no matter how much I will myself to move, my body stays frozen in place. Stand there for a long, agonizing minute. My hands are trembling when I finally raise them. I know the skin beneath the wrappings all too well, the hideous, unnatural flesh I've grown to despise. I grip the edge of the bandages. Stop. With a weary sigh, the man slides off the beam and lands with a thud that shakes the panels underfoot. He's a monster, tall and imposing, with a presence that commands the room like gravity. Lantern light sculpts his face in sharp, unforgiving lines. Subtle clinks of metal accompany each of his footsteps. The closer he gets to me, the faster my heart hitches. What does he want? Is he going to kill me? Step backwards. I find nothing to set my foot on. I've forgotten my back was still a C-spring. I fall right before a warm hand catches my lower back. I'm hovering above the C-spring, the scent of smoke and leather enveloping me. Blazing eyes bore into mine. Told you to watch your step. I'm too stunned to muster a response. Like I weigh nothing, he guides me back to solid ground. Following a subtle gesture from his fingers, the souls around us disperse and relax. The shift in their demeanor is so abrupt it gives me whiplash. The enormous tentacles are no longer in the rafters, though now I doubt I ever saw them at all. Either way, I let out a breath of relief. Thanks. As focused on me as he was before, the monster pays no attention to me now. He kicks some seating pillows out of the walkways, checks the contents of the kettle with a scowl. The sudden disregard is almost insulting. So that's it? I'm not a threat anymore? Never were one. Then why'd you threaten me? People get honest when they're afraid. In other words, he was messing me. I drag a hand over my face, exhausted by the fact that this is the second time a monster has provoked me today. You're ice, aren't you? Depends who's asking. One of your friends told me this was your territory. She also said you were a gang leader. There's no one else here. I thought there'd be more people. Ice picks up the kettle, walks to the edge of the C-spring, and dumps the contents into the endless red. They took a walk. His pleasant smile stretches ear to ear. Then in an instant it drops. I get the sense that I shouldn't ask about that again. What do you need the C-spring's power for? Depends, can it cure a curse? Probably. You mean you don't know? No. He shakes out the empty kettle and starts collecting stray cups, tidying up. My frustration builds. I narrow my eyes at him in a questioning glare. When he notices, he returns it with an amused smirk. Are you being irritating on purpose? Listen, Sparrow, the C-spring can cure anything. Nothing's stopping you from trying it yourself. What do I have to do? Drink. I have to drink from the C-spring? My eyes glide to the blood-like pool beside us. The idea of ingesting the liquid makes my guts churn. Is there a price? Always. Ice taps his temple with a finger. You lose it a little bit. That's it? I've already beat it to the punch. My humor earns me an amused, faint grin. This is a little different. When you drink from the C-spring, you forget who you are. Your mind combines with everyone I ever drank before. Humans, monsters, soulless, one big happy family in your head. My blood runs cold. I've heard of these before. Group minds. My attendants used to tell me that my power granted people access to a higher plane of understanding. A group mind of my own making. All lies. Something tells me this is real, even if one thing doesn't add up. Your eyes are red too, but you obviously haven't forgotten who you are. Before I can finish my sentence, Ice strides past me towards the entrance. Time's up. Let's finish this later. Wait, already? You barely told me anything. Came on a bad day. I've got somewhere to be. There are still so many questions burning on the tip of my tongue, but my frustration spills out before I can ask any of them. I was told to come here for help, but instead I get threatened and kicked out. You're joking, right? What's your tone? I'm nice, but you don't want to ruin the host's mood. My skin prickles. A feeling of being watched washes over me again. My eyes dart back towards the C-spring. A lone ripple dances on the quiet surface. I take Ice's advice and clamp my mouth shut. Ice approaches a nearby soulless, a lanky dog-like one with 6 legs and a crown of tendrils. Several sets of red eyes adorn its sides. Its forked tail wags rapidly when Ice squats beside it. Aw, that's kinda cute. He has a doggy. Oh, wait. Carp. He runs his fingers through the tendrils, scratches its chin, and pats its head. A gentle smile plays across Ice's lips. The affection he holds for the soulless is painfully clear. I dip my eyes away, my stomach fluttering at the tender sight. Getting dark out, so this pretty girl will guide you back. Following a short whistle from Ice's lips, it trots over to the entrance obediently, tail swaying. I watch the soulless warily. Pretty is not a word I would use to describe it, and the idea of it protecting me sounds absurd. If I decide to drink, how do I find you? Find someone with eyes like mine. They'll point you in the right direction. But think it over. Once you drink, you can't go back. It's a lot to process, but I give a small nod. At least I know I have another option for a cure, as disturbing as it may be. Drink time. Drink is very needed. I follow the Solus at a measured distance and watch it nudge the giant doors open with ease. When I'm about to cross the threshold, I sneak one last glance behind me. My heart skips when I meet Ice's eyes. I'm about to snap my head away. He just flashes me an uneasy smile. Till next time, Sparrow. I'll buy you a drink for scaring you. I don't trust myself to do anything but respond with another curt nod. Outside, more crimson-eyed Solus scuttle about. It's hard to believe it's the same threatening pack from before. They chase each other in circles, roll around in the bog's mud. They're like a wolf pack. That's so cute. I want one. They pay no attention to me as the dog-like one escorts me away. It's an uneventful trip. Sometimes the Solus looks over its shoulder at me to make sure I'm still following. Dusk darkens the sky by the time we reach the city. I can't sense that massive heartbeat anymore. Maybe it was all in my head. The Solus sits, canting its head at me with familiar crimson eyes. I will pet the dog. As nervous as I am, I carefully glide my fingers through the Solus's tendril and scratch beneath its chin, just like I said. It pushes into my palm and responds, rumbling with a sound akin to a purr. The vibrations are soothing, almost therapeutic. When it's satisfied, the Solus spins around and scampers back in the direction we came, vanishing into the darkness. I've just arrived in Iridia, but I've already encountered so many things I thought were impossible. Tamed Solus being one of them. My head spins. Maybe I should call it a day. Nightfall creeps across the streets of Iridia. The city, labyrinthine even in daytime, has now become a warren of treacherous alleyways. The streets are completely deserted. If I hadn't been here earlier, I would have thought this part of the city abandoned. My steps slow when I hear rustling in the dark. I strain my ears, but everything is still. Is silence playing tricks on me? Something is wrong. Fine hairs on the back of my neck prickle, a frisson of discomfort running down my spine. Something is wrong. My eyes dart from one side of the street to the other, searching for movement, but the shadows are as deep and dark as pools of ink. I can't stay here. I need to reach a busier part of the city. Drawing my cloak tighter around my body, I hurry. Though I keep my eyes sharp and listen intently, there's only the sound of my own footsteps. As the moments pass and nothing happens, I begin to wonder if I really did imagine that noise. I turn the next corner and my thoughts come screaming to a halt. My head spins, the world blurring as adrenaline rushes through my veins. Only one thing is clear amidst the haze. The Solus that attacked the caravan. It's crouched over a dark, indistinct shape, a body. A garland of intestines spills from pallid flesh. Blood grouts the cobblestones. Ooh. That's pretty cool. Holding my breath, I take a step backwards. When the wet, slurping sounds don't abate, I take another, then another. Then a shard of glass crunches under my heel. The world slows to a crawl as the Solus raises its head, blood dripping from its tendrils, every single one of its bulging eyes fixed unblinkingly on me. It's really here. It's come back for me. Run. I'm off like a shot, running for my life through the darkened streets. Behind me, a piercing bay splits the silence, and heavy footfalls pound after me. My heart thunders in my chest. I take turns at random, trying to lose the Solus in the maze of streets, but I can't seem to shake it. I can hear its breathing now, a wet fluttering rasp, growing closer and closer. The same claws that severed my arm swipe out. I duck, safe by pure reflex, and skid around a corner only to freeze. A wall twice as high as me bars my way, a dead end. Behind me the Solus looms. It's enormous, taking up nearly the entire width of the alleyway. Its long, claw-tipped limbs give it the advantage of reach. Well, I didn't work the first time. Let's try fighting back again. I may be cornered, but I'm not going to just lie down and accept my death. Despite the trembling of my fingers, I unwind my bandages. I just need to touch it. If I can touch it with uncovered hands, I can pacify it. With an ear-splitting shriek, the Solus charges at me. I duck under its first swipe, nearly losing my footing. Its talons rake down, tearing the edge of my cloak. I see an opening and lunge. Solus talons open my arm from shoulder to wrist. For a moment I don't feel anything, then pain explodes up my arm, through my body, and I reflexively flinch back. Okay, that didn't work again. Maybe I should have expected that. I don't get far. The Solus' tail whips out, catching me at the ankles and sending me sprawling to the ground. Desperately, I raise my good hand in an attempt to defend myself, but its foot comes down hard on my shoulder. The tendons give way, the joints dislocating with a sickening pop. God damn it. With both arms useless, I can only watch numb as it descends on me. I wish I could say it was quick and painless, that someone came to help me. In the end, my only escape is death. God damn it. Okay, so I'm assuming I have to try to escape. As the Solus prowls closer, my eyes dart from side to side looking for an escape. The Solus is blocking the obvious way out, but right behind me is a rickety door that must lead into the adjoining building. If I can get inside, Solus' sides will hinder any attempt to pursue me. I whirl, grabbing at the handle. It turns completely, the hinges creaking as I push, and I feel a flash of hope before a weight hits the door from the other side and slams it shut. The click of the lock turning is grimly final. This wretched world, few people will stick their neck out to help their own flesh and blood, never mind a stranger. Solus gives a rasping hiss. It's the only warning I get before it lunges for me with a flash of claws. I hurl myself to the side, but the slick cobblestones betray me. I fall, sprawling over the rough stone. As the Solus looms over me, I scramble away from it until my back hits the wall. There's nowhere left to go. It descends on me for the kill. But the impact never comes! Okay. This time, I'm fine. I warily crack one eye open, then the other, not sure whether I should believe what I'm seeing. Which one is this? Is this the shadow guy, maybe? A hooded figure crouches in front of me, one blood-stained hand outstretched. It is! He is pretty. Or they. I'm getting, like, non-conforming vibes. Moonlight silvers the edge of their stiletto knife. Their face and hands are spattered with blood. And the Solus. My eyes dart past my unexpected rescuer to the misshapen form behind them. The Solus's many eyes, once rested and vibrant, now look dull and waxy. A red pool spreads slowly from under its body. Numb with shock, I can't help but stare. After all the people it's killed, after nearly killing me twice, I can hardly believe it's dead. Well? I gingerly take the offered hand. The hunter's gaze dips to my bandages. Pale lips part on the brink of a question, then close them again. With the strength belying their slight frame, they pull me upright. Something about them is strange, unlike any human or monster I've ever met. Can't place my finger on why, and that's a first. I can feel the tension in their grip. Their fingers tremble like they want to pull away. It's a sensation I'm all too familiar with myself. Despite their obvious discomfort, they pause for a moment, pale eyes sleeping over me. Not going to fall? When I shake my head, they hastily let go and back off, wiping the blood from their face and hands. The hunter turns away from me, the heel of their boot hitting the Solus's gangly body. They lean over it, studying it intently. With their back to me, I realize that their hooded silhouette is familiar. I saw them outside the cenobium. Vestigial or functional? I'm startled out of my thoughts when they speak, but they aren't looking at me. Can't all be processed in the brain. His occipital loads would have had to be enormous. In fact, I don't think they're talking to me at all. I'll just stay quiet, you can ramble. I don't get to listen, curious despite myself. They move to the Solus's other side, still engrossed in their study of its many eyes. Sensory lag wouldn't be a problem, but how does it compensate all the neurological input? I wonder. Maybe they caught sight of me in their peripheral vision, or maybe they heard me shift slightly. The hunter jolts upright, wide eyes landing on me. You're still here? What do you want? I wanted to thank you. They stare at me. Though their lips part, they seem to struggle to figure out what to say. Not used to hearing that? That hint of uncertainty almost vanishes under their scowl. Almost. They're so cute. They're so cute. You shouldn't need my help to begin with. What are you thinking, traveling alone at night? This is far from the worst thing haunting Lowtown. Can't make heads or tail of them. First they saved me, and now they scold me. Lesson learned. I could do without the lecture, though. To my surprise, they break eye contact. They frown, though their disapproval doesn't seem directed at me. If you're not going to run off screaming, you might as well wait until I'm done. Their attention glides back to the Solace's corpse. They examine it with an inscrutable expression. I clear my throat to fill the silence. I'm Faye. Min. Suddenly Min tenses. Their blade flashes as they drive it into the back of the Solace's neck. Solace thrashes once, letting out a rattling hiss as the air leaves its lungs. Min leans on the blade, driving it deeper and deeper until there's a sickening crunch and the creature goes limp. My heart thuds in my chest. It must have been clinging to life by a thread. Min straightens up, withdrawing their blade in a simple, smooth motion. Better to put wretched things like this out of their misery. They calmly clean the blood from their knife. I swallow, my eyes still glued to the cooling corpse. You're some kind of scientist? Min stops mid-motion, lifting their head to stare at me. You knew exactly where to strike. Have you studied anatomy or medicine? Not quite. Why is a Solace inside the city? Min looks at me, eyes searching before realization dawns. You're new here. There's no walls around the city. Solace can come and go as they please until someone is contracted to stop them. Cenobians' patrols don't bother to protect Lowtown. Not anymore. Let me guess, you're not a fan of the Cenobium. I wouldn't go that far. Either way, it looks like I owe you. Min's brow abruptly furrows, and they sheath their knife, motioning for me to follow. It's not safe here. The vultures can smell death. Not quite sure what they mean, but I don't want to stay lost in the city. I trail behind them as they stride down the street. If it's so dangerous, then why are you helping me? I came for the bounty on that Solace, and you're in the way. Not killing you isn't the same as helping you. Don't count on being lucky again, or you'll be dead by sunrise. The answer is stingingly harsh. I like them. I just need to find my lodgings. I hold my hands up, trying to forestall any more snippy comments. Alright, I get it. I'd love to get out of your way, but I'm sort of lost. I just need directions back to my lodgings. Their brow furrows slightly. They open their mouth, and for a moment I could swear they look regretful. They sigh and shake their head. It's too dangerous at this hour. I'll take you to wherever you're staying. I wasn't expecting to get directions, given their attitude. When they realize I'm staring, they look away with a huff. It'll be faster, that's all. I have a room at the Wetwick. At the name, Min's face falls. That gaudy cesspit. Not a fan? It's full of drunks and idiots. What do you think? True, it doesn't seem like their kind of place. Well, that's where I'm staying. You taking back your offer? Min exhales sharply and shakes their head. This way. Min's route is completely different from my slow early morning meandering. Their steps are swift and sure, even though all the streets blur together in the dark. You know the city pretty well. I grew up here. I think that's the first thing they've told me voluntarily since we met. Was it always like this? Min's gaze wanders, dragging along the dingy buildings. I struggle to decipher their expression. Regret? No. Rydia was never perfect, but it used to be a place worth living in. I can't make heads or tails of Min's answer. Rydia is the last bastion of humanity in this wasteland. Where else is worth living? The Wetwick's not much farther now. In no time at all, the shadowy alleys of Lowtown give way to brightly lit avenues and crowds of lively people. It's as if half the city has poured into the Amaryllis district's colourful streets. Laughter, clinking glasses, and music assault my ears from every direction. Yet most of the noise comes from the Wetwick. Its doors hang wide open. Bright lanterns frame a tall and familiar figure. I remember what voice I did for him. Faye. And Min, I see. It's hard to say which of us is more surprised. You know each other? Min is a freelancer who's done a few errands for me. They're quite reliable. So I can't say I remember you ever escorting travellers. Faye nearly walked into the jaws of a Solace. I thought bringing them here would be less trouble. If you're staying here, I take it Leander was able to help you. As it happens, I was also headed in that direction, shall we? Fine. He still owes me for yesterday's work. Min drags their feet, reluctantly trailing me into the tavern. soon as the doors open, a wave of sticky heat rolls over me. In the hours since I left, the wick has grown suffocatingly crowded. Kura stands a head taller than most. Even so, I nearly lose sight of him amid the sea of swarming bodies. Pardon me. As if on cue, the crowd parts. Kura glances over his shoulder at Min and me before gliding through. How can anyone breathe in here? Min follows at a clip pace. Behind the bar, Leander holds a pair of shot glasses brimming with luminous green liquid. And now for the finishing touch. A flash of magic paints the glasses white with frost. I never guess what's in these. He slides the glasses across the counter and I get my third and fourth shots of the evening in rapid succession. Ice leans against the bar, an elbow prepped off on the counter. He catches the glasses and lifts one to the light before turning it upside down. The contents magically congealed, stay firmly in place. You're supposed to make drinks, pretty boy. Don't tell me you're wasted already. Via, perched on the counter beside Ice, looks at the shot glass and shakes his head. What have we here? Bucket full of boogers? Leander's nose treasure? You've eaten worse. Via's lips twitch and his ears flatten when off in a glass. Ice snickers. Coward. Don't tell me you're actually... In one fluid motion, Ice throws his head back and downs the shot. Drinking that. A dark look crosses Ice's face. It's chewy. Chewy. Wait, let me try again. Behind me, Min grumbles. I told you this place was a nest of degenerates. If it isn't Curris and Min. The sound of Leander's voice, Min's pale eyes grow wide. They look ready to bolt until Curris sets a hand on their shoulder. This will not take long, I promise. Min's eyes dart from Curris's hand to his face, then soften. Fine, you first. While I step forward, I linger behind, struck with a sudden revelation. All the people I've met recently know each other. Yeah, they all know each other. That's weird. Good evening, Leander. Ice. Another drinking competition, I presume? Is it evening already? Just some friendly rivalry. No need to be alarmed. Chris acknowledges Leander and Ice with a slight nod, ignoring Veer entirely. Not that Veer seems to mind. He tilts his head, lips curving into an impish smile when he stops Min brooding behind Curris. I almost didn't see you there, Min. Looking for your booster seat? Min pushes their hood back and levels Veer with a cold look. I thought pets weren't allowed in here. Veer's eyes narrow. Ah! Look at them! They're cute! It's actually really sweet. Can I have all of them? At the first sign of an impending fight, Leander vaults over the counter. Let's try and keep the peace. It's not every day the esteemed doctor takes us up on a drink. His arm snakes around Curris's shoulders. You are finally taking me up on that drink, right, Curris? I'm afraid not. We were merely escorting Faye back to their lodgings. Curris gestures in my direction, my stomach sinks. I reluctantly step into the light. Leander's face brightens as soon as he sees me. Faye, it's been too long. Everyone, this is Faye, the new to Iridia. I feel 4 pairs of eyes fixed on me and suddenly the bar seems suffocatingly small. My voice nearly catches in my throat. Actually, I have already met everyone. You've met? Ice and Veer regard me with subtly amused expressions. We did, not that long ago either. To think we'd crossed paths once again. It must be fate. I roll my eyes. Veer looks far too pleased with himself. Oh, look at all of them. They're all so cute. This is actually so cute. I love that Min is like 5 heads taller than the rest of them. No, 5 heads shorter, not taller. He's so short. They're so short? I actually think we have to look that up since I'm not actually sure what pronouns Min uses. Min, Touchstarved, pronouns. Okay, yeah, they them. They. You can actually check the other characters. I know Leander is a he. Veer is also he. Good to know. Pretty sure Chorus has been refer to as he? Yes. And then Ice, I know, uses he, so... Yeah, never mind, they should be fine. I haven't messed up all the pronouns, just one. Sorry, man. It's cool for drinks, I'm buying. All eyes turned to Leander, freeing me from the burden of attention. Still can't believe they all know each other. Watching them talk among themselves is surreal. For the first time since I undertook the journey to Iridia, I feel a faint glimmer of hope. I know that I was meant to meet them. The low, pleasant rumble of Leander's laughter pulls me from my restless thoughts. I have to admit, I'm surprised. You make friends fast, Faye. I wouldn't go that far, we're more like acquaintances. Wise man once said that acquaintances are merely friends you haven't shared a drink yet. A wise man? You said that. Here, last week. Min's lips curl with distaste, but Leander continues unperturbed. It's toast to Faye's health. Can I join in, Doctor? Curtis politely declines with a wave of his hand. How are you, Min? No. Are you... No. A resounding pop pierces the din of the bar. We all turn to find this bartender pouring champagne from an old bottle, its label worn blank. He hands the drink to Veer. When they start serving champagne here? Veer pauses to lick the foam from his fingers with a coy smile. You don't mind, do you? In a blink, the concern on Leander's face vanishes. No, be my guest. While chuckling, Leander shoots the bartender a questioning look. Completely disinterested in his company, Ice cants his head at me with a light smile. How about you, Sparrow? I did say I'd buy you a drink. No, my treat. Ice regards Leander over the rim of his glass. In the dim light, the glint in his eyes looks downright dangerous. Will it be, Faye? I'll take that drink. Take up on that drink as long as it's not one of those green shots. Don't knock them till you try them. They taste better than they look. Somehow I doubt that, but I hold my tongue. Min and Koras drift towards one end of the bar. Both seem eager to leave at a moment's notice, and neither has ordered anything. Ice and Veer linger. Several glasses stand empty behind them. Between them, the two show no signs of slowing down. They're Irish! No, don't make me choose. I think I like Veer a lot, so I'm gonna stay with Ice and Veer. Ice's eyes meet mine in a flash of red. It gives a smile that's too wide to be reassuring. Don't worry, Leander's more likely to slip poison into my drink than yours. Excuse me? He considers his cup a tumbler of amber-coloured whiskey. Leander's tried to kill me a dozen times by now. It's always a gamble. Veer looks my way with a half-livid gaze softened by his third glass of champagne. If I were you, I wouldn't let Leander put anything in my mouth. He grins, revealing the sharp white tips of his fangs. The Wetwick is one of Iridia's finest drinking establishments. Allow us to treat you to the best the city has to offer. Am I interested you in the signature watered-down drink, or perhaps some stale nut leather? He gestures at a chipped ceramic bowl filled with spindly, speckled jerky that I can only assume is nut leather. What is with the food in the city? This place is as foul as you say, how come it's completely packed? It's not all bad. Depending on the day, the food's edible. Ice takes a measured sip of his drink. Gotta stick around for the real attractions, though. Before I can respond, Leander returns the tumbler and sets it in front of me. A strip of orange peel bobs in a pool of thin red alcohol. I sniff the drink. To my relief, all I smell is a sweet scent of pomegranates with an undercurrent of fermented fruit. That sounds safe. Relax, it's just a local specialty, pomegranate wine. Although if you're feeling more adventurous, I shake my head. Leander wraps his knuckles against the bar until the group falls silent. Alright everyone, let's toast. May Faye stay and Iridia be full of bright adventures and discoveries. Cheers! Leander, Ice, and Veer raise their glasses in unison. Min only crosses their arms and Kuros watches with polite indifference. I tip my drink back. The wine is eye-wateringly strong. Despite a sharp, bitter edge, it goes down smoothly. One sip softens the edge of my vision. One sip softens the edges of my vision. The next fades the din of the crowded bar into a low, persistent murmur. I find myself unwinding for what feels like the first time in years. This is, completely, unrealistic. I'm not this much of a lightweight. And you're the popular one, Faye. You must have met Chorus first. It would be more accurate to say that I found them. You saved my life. I merely performed my duty as a doctor. Though I was confused when I woke up naked. Nanda makes a choked noise somewhere behind him, mid-size. It's not what you think. Faye was in grave condition. I could hardly treat such injuries through tattered clothes. Silence that follows stretches uncomfortably long. I look away, unable to face Cariss's disappointment, and catch Veer snickering behind his hand. It's my cue to change the topic. Chris isn't the only one who saved me today. Don't you listen? I didn't save you. You were simply there. It's Min for you. Neander reaches for Min, but they duck under his arm with practiced ease. As reliable as they are moody. You want to talk, considering you neglected to warn them to stay off the streets at night. Well, of course I warned them. I think. Min's only response is a short breath. At any rate, I never got a chance to thank you, Min. Don't. The less soulless alive, the better. Min's eyes flick towards Ice and their lips twist. Ice is too busy nodding along to Veer's enthusiastic pantomime of stabbing to notice. I've had enough of this hellhole. Let's go. Min and Kura share a brief look, then the doctor speaks up. Very well, but there is something that I must discuss with Leander. If you'll excuse us, Faye. Just like that, the three of them depart, leaving me alone to savor my drink in silence. Or so I think, until I hear a voice so soft and low it's practically a purr. Lost your tour guide? I turn to find two pairs of split eyes trained on me. It's not lost on me that Ice and Veer chose to pounce the instant the others left. Of course I'd be stuck with the two most irritating people I've met all day. Monsters or not, there's no telling what I'll do if either of them push me again. Don't tell me Leander already snuck out back to go... I can't say that. I can't say that on stream. Down the hill. Okay. He's got business with Kurus and Min. 2 on 1. I can't say that on the stream, Veer. I can't tell if it's the champagne of the company, but Veer has grown noticeably more relaxed. He sits with his chin propped on the back of his hand, his tail sways lazily. Why are you so far away? Come join us. Pats the empty bar stool behind Ice. No, beside Ice, but I hesitate. Smile Veer wears is sweet and distinctly sly, and with drinks in the mix I dread how he and Ice will mess with me next. We don't bite. I'm not so sure about that. He already tried to rob me, and you threatened me. Me? Steal? You must be mistaken. Are you sure it was me? Yes, it was you. And you had the gall to kick me out so you could go drinking. Ice gives me another one of his shrugs. I had to give you a reason to come looking. Miss me already? I stare at him flatly, unimpressed by his deflection. Veer suddenly leads towards me, gossamer sleeves falling where he rests his elbows on his knees. Ice sets his hand on Veer's waist, narrowly preventing him from tipping off the counter. I'm afraid we got off on the wrong foot. How about we start fresh and begin with proper introductions and whatnot? I'll start. The name's Veer. I'm a soulless hunter of no small renown. Veer's hand flutters to his chest and he bows his head, flinching when hair falls over his eyes. Ice doesn't say anything, so I suppose it's my turn now. It's Faye. Veer considers me for a long moment, his tail idly swaying behind him. Then he knocks back the rest of his champagne. It's a pleasure to formally meet you, Faye. He says my name slowly and deliberately, savouring every syllable. There's only one syllable. A tingle jumps down my spine. I quickly turn my gaze away. Ice smirks at my reaction. Something funny? No. Open my mouth and close it just as quickly. They want me to react, goading me into another ridiculous game. While their sharp, cat-like eyes keep me on edge, something about this tension is fun. Must be the wine. Flash of white over Ice's shoulder catches my eye. Across the bar, Chris heads for the door. I don't see Leander or Min, but it feels wrong to let the doctor leave without saying goodbye. I'll be back. Veer grins and waves at me as I leave. Okay, we have hit 5 o'clock. Which means I'm supposed to be getting off now. So I'm actually gonna just, save this. And we're gonna have to return to this at another time. But that was Touchstarved. I'm really enjoying it so far. Small problem is that I only have one viewer. So if I do a raid, it's not going to be a particularly impressive one. Because I think it's just me and you, Star, if you're listening. But I will still look for someone to raid, just like a smaller streamer that maybe I can. Rayska is still playing, and right now they seem to be playing. Huh, I recognize that game. I forgot what the name is, but they're in the games and demos category, and they're playing what looks like also a visual novel style game. So yeah, we might as well go raid them. So /raid Rayska. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, then I should tell you that I'm making a Discord community, so it'll be in the description for if you want to join it, along with my Twitch link as per usual. Let's go raid!